new journal to share with you. This is an African themed junk journal. It was inspired by my latest trips to Africa. For those of you who follow me, on Instagram, you probably know that I've spent a lot of time in Africa lately. My dad is originally from Ivory Coast, and even though I was born and raised in France, I still have strong bonds with Ivory Coast, and I have family there. And after was it 35 or 36 years, I went back and just fell in love with the place. And basically I went back the first time in April, and I've been back 3 times already because I love it so much. People there are just so kind, so nice, and I just I feel a lot of love, much less pressure, and nature also. I think it's a bundle of a lot of things that I was missing, that I was lacking with my life here in France. And the peace that I can achieve there, I can only achieve there. Nowhere. I've traveled a lot. I've been all over Europe, America, Asia, and nowhere did I ever feel that much peace that what I felt in Africa. I strongly encourage any of you who is thinking about it to go, because basically it's really far from what is depicted in on TV and in the shows, and it's so much more than that. So here, I have created this journal further to my travel there, and I wanted to share it with you. That's my way of basically transferring what I felt there, and all the beauty that I've encountered, and all the love, basically. So I hope you will like it. Just grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and let's go. The journal is 9 by 6 inches. The spine is 2 inches, and the cover is a heavyweight chipboard. It has 2 massive signatures, but it lays flat because this thingy here is not glued. So when you open it, it lays flat, as you can see. So on the cover, I've used some African fabric that I bought in Ivory Coast, and I made sure that it was made in Ivory Coast as well. I wanted something that was 100% African. The journal itself is not 100% African, but as far as the fabrics were concerned, I wanted the ones coming from Africa, not the ones coming from China or Germany, or the Netherlands, because they're big producers of these fabrics, and I wanted the African one. So I added some laces on top of it. I've layered several laces, from my stash, and stitched them here around. Added some book corners from no, these are not from Tim Holtz. And on the front cover, beside the laces and the different fabric that I've added here, I've also added this beautiful picture that I found on Pinterest, and I backed it up with some book page and some paper. Added another piece of a snippet that I had hanging around. So let's go inside. When you go inside, I have also created a digital kit further to my trip, and this is it. This is the one I've used in this journal. It's my expression of everything I felt while being there. So here you have a pocket with 3 little tags. This is a scanned piece of fabric that I have printed back on paper. So here I've added some lace. These are coffee dyed papers. Here I have a pocket with a tag. These are paper from another pad. There's nothing to do with Africa. It's just a world map. This is a map of Africa with all the countries' name, because this is one of the least known continent on Earth, and I think it's worth knowing. There are a lot of countries, as you can see, and so I thought it was worth putting here. Here I have folded that page and added some eyelets here. Little picture was stitched on here, and I have made it a pocket and added this tag, which is from another paper pad that I had laying around. I wanted this to be very colorful, so I went through my paper pad and brought out the ones that I thought would match this journal well. I have made a lot of these craft cardstock tags throughout the journal. This was another tuck spot that I have made with by layering several pieces of paper, also from my stash. I've added this little tab here, which is made out of African fabric as well. I've made several of them, as you can see throughout the book. And here, that's part of the kit as well. Here it says Nakupenda, which means I love you in Swahili. So all these are created digitally. Here I've added some music sheet with some African songs. This is a Liberian one. It's called Banua. So all the music that you see are African music. Here, another layering of papers makes a pocket. Oh, here. I'm African, not because I was born in Africa, but Africa was born in me. I found this stamp in Scrapbook Expo somewhere in the US years ago and bought it. Here I have gathered a few things. There's some African fabric. This is the scanned fabric that I've printed on paper, left over from my snippet. This is a leaf that I've cut from some scanned fabric as well. Here I made a border, and then you see I've added a guest check at the back because I thought it looked nice. Then this is an envelope that I have added here, so here can serve as a photo mat. There's a photo mat in there as well, and a little pocket here that is made out of a picture found on Pinterest as well, and little tags made out of this scanned fabrics as well. Here on my kits, you see that the background here is made out of African fabric, and then there are plants and all images, and then here there's space to write. These pictures are all also been added there. More tags, another music sheet. Let me go a little faster because otherwise this video will take forever. So a lot of tuck spot tags, and here there's a little game with Africa map and then the names to be filled. Thought it was cute. And here's another page from my kit. And here I printed a dictionary page and added this the page with love, and added this beautiful lady here and a piece of my printed scanned paper. Here I made a lace pocket, which I added this beautiful tag here. This is another stamp that I bought in the US some years back, and I've rounded the corners so it doesn't get held by the lace here. This is the middle of the first signature, and I made one of my giant envelope, and in there you'll find this little booklet which you can take with you. It's basically another 4x6 journal. I have scanned this fabric and printed it out on paper again, you can see. So yeah, that makes it an extra little journal to write. Here's another tuck spot made with a guest check, and I've done some layering and stitching on top of it. Yeah, I've printed this lady because I found her on Pinterest and I thought she looked so cute and beautiful. I thought she matched the theme. Yeah, I've made a mix of all things that I've found on the internet and my kit, and fabrics also that I found from Africa. I've tried to make it a real mix of everything, and I hope I have achieved a nice Africa inspired journal. Here's another pocket that I've made, and in this I have added this envelope, which is also made from African fabric scan on paper, and then you have a lot of small tiny embellishments that are also part of the kit. the little shapes. They're part of the kit, as well as the scanned fabric. They're also part of the kit. I mean, they're not part of the same kit. I've made several kits, and yeah, they're all different. So here, another tag. This is part of the kit as well. Another tag spot. Here, this I have cut from the... Basically, what I do in my kit is I give the background in an A4 size page, and what you can do is print it, and then cut whatever shape you want from it. This is also part of it. Yeah, that's a map of Ivory Coast that I printed on this school page that was coffee dyed first. Another pocket, another tag, and these are open on the side here, so you can tuck large things. These are 2 pages from the kit. This is the middle of the journal. Yeah, plenty of laces that I've added, and little pockets, stitching. This is a book that I studied from when I was little, because basically I was born in France, but when I was 10 months old, we moved to Ivory Coast, as my dad got a job there, and then we stayed there for 5 to 6 years. So I did my kindergarten and small school there. I learned how to read there, and this was the book that I learned from. It's called Mamadou et Bineta, and I really, when I went back and I found it on the market, in the market, I was very, very emotional about it. So I added a page here, and I added this lace that has been in my stash for the longest time, and finally found a way to use it. Yeah, I've made a small envelope that I've attached here. You can tuck little things in there. It's functional. I tied it with some eyelash trim, and here are 2 more tags fitting in there. More music sheet. Here's a little thingy that I printed. I made this roll with some snippets that I had, and then I used it throughout the journal. Here more pages. Here's another tuck spot. I mean, basically it's an envelope that I made by stitching some paper on which I had already made some gatherings. I mean, some layerings, and then on the back I added this parchment paper, cooking paper, whatever. And here's another envelope. You can tuck things here. I've added this little envelope that I made from the scanned fabric. Here is another tag that I stitched around. That's a picture I found on Pinterest. Made a large tag out of it. Then added some lace. Found this beautiful image in Pinterest as well, on Pinterest as well. Added it here. And yeah, more of my kit. Yeah, another photo I found on the internet. Same here. And then this is the middle of the second signature, and here you have another book. It says Bliss, and it's the same as the first one. You can take it with you, journal in it, and then do whatever you want with it. It fits back in there. Here I have another lace pocket. This one is empty, and I've added an envelope here with a little tag in it. Really like that picture. Here's a map of Africa with words. Found this image very nice, so I decided to print it here. Layerings, more of my kit. I love this lady so much, I added her here as well with some bees. Yeah, this is a book I found, a book page that I found also on the internet. Added this stool, African stool on it, and love the effect of it. So here, there's another pocket. Added this beautiful image. Here I've layered some, it's not burlap, or maybe it is, I don't know. And this applique that was in my stash. Here another layering with this little image that I have printed and inked the edge with vintage photos. And we're getting towards the end. Here's another envelope that I've added here. Let's see, this one is empty. You can add whatever you want on it. Yeah, more tuck spots. Another page from the kit. And yeah. Oh, this is a coloring page that I had done some time back, and it was there sitting in my stash, so I decided to glue it here. It's not a tuck spot, you can't tuck anything behind it. Another page from the little school book. Yes, and I made another tag with this one. This is stitched, so the pocket is not open like the others. Here you have the little tag from that lady on it as well. And then here, and another one of my little envelope. This one's not tied to anything, so you can take it out and add your things in there and then take it around with you. Eyelash trim. And then I have added 2 tags here. I love this stamp. Got it from Scrapbook Expo as well. I'll give you the company that makes those stamps, because not sure they still do make them. I think they do though. Wait a second, I'll go get it. This is it. It's an American company. It's called the Rubbernecker, and yeah, it makes a few African American themed stamps. So I bought all that I could find at that time, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago already. Had them. And then that's the last page. Added some lace here and some trim, and stitched around. I did my little stamp here, and that's it. I have because this is so bulky, I have made a little belt that will go with the book, and it's just it goes totally apart, and then there's a little pressure button here that can help close it, but you don't have to use it. It's just for those who are like me, who really like to have something totally closed, then you can use it. If not, it's totally fine to leave it like so without it and just have your journal around with you. Depends. I wanted everyone to have the option, so that's why, and that's what I did. So this journal will be available on my Etsy store, and I thank you all so much for being here with me today. Thank you for your continuing support, and I hope to see you around soon again. Happy crafting. Bye.
Les pacificateurs jusqu'au bout, Vital Kameni. Yuma no gagat, Zoba no gagat. Yuma no gagat, Zoba no gagat. OLK, Initiative Plus. Toza Goliath.